we can do that by apply this to the suspension or apply this to some panels that are gonna move, doors, or any other type of thing, right? But this is the challenge that you guys need to think a little bit outside of the box and say, how can we, in this example, how can we articulate cars?
For taking inspiration about forms, because when you said our topic is cars and robotics,
Yes.
I suddenly thought the cars would be more simple and angular in the future.
Yep.
So I took those images into my inspiration board.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, I think it makes sense. I mean, the cars will have simpler forms, more techy. All right.
Yes,
Um,
both simple and angular. I think
yeah,
it will look
yeah,
like.
yeah, yeah. Okay. What about this one?
These are just images that resonates with feature for me.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
I can't. I couldn't take form inspiration from this part. I just created this as a mood board.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. So, okay. You think your vision is you think the cars are gonna be more simpler? They're gonna have simpler
Yes,
forms, right?
yes,
And how
and
does
angular.
angular
Angular
and
form.
and how those cars are gonna intersect with robotics? What's your vision?
Actually, that that's one of my problems.
Okay.
I would like to touch on a bit of this issue
Yeah.
because when I work on such project, I can go further away from form explorations. I always think it's most likely wrong. It's just
Yeah.
cars taking people from one point to another point. What other
Hmm.
solution can there be apart from form and shape explorations?
Yeah.
I really struggle
Yeah.
to find any solution in order to serve customers.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. So just to give you some thoughts in there, um, the way they can intersect with robotics, it can be many things, right? One, it can be the hardware, right? So, for example, you can have a, if we go to this robot, right? So what I see here is new technology, right? And you need to think about how that technology is going to be applied to cars, right? For example, you have these motors, right? Called actuators, right? And these actuators make the cars, oh, well, make the robots to have articulations, right? So then you can think about it. How can we articulate a car, right? How can we do that? We can we can do that by apply this to the suspension or apply this to some panels that are gonna move, doors, or any other type of thing, right? But this is the challenge that you guys need to think a little bit outside of the box and say, how can we, in this example, how can we articulate cars, right? What would it be, right? Is it going to be the doors, the suspension, the wheels, the mirrors, the seats, the chassis? Like how? And you guys are allowed to do anything. You guys can literally explore the future. You guys don't need to do regular cars with a robotic looking. No, you guys can literally expand your mind and try to explore new frontiers, right? So the second thing, right? This is hardware, right? Hardware. The other thing is, for example, another thing I see here is the face, right? And what I see here is, I would say, still hardware, but it's in a combination with software. And what I mean with this is you can have a screen, right? That is going to tell you, I don't know, they're going to be the turn signals of a car, or it's going to be a screen um that shows some of car features or shows a message or communicate to the outside of the car, right? Maybe someone is crossing the street and this thing says hello, right? And the front of the car says hello because they have sensors and things like that, right? So this is another option. How can you translate this, right? So, and as I said, there's many things that you can translate, right? You can implement AI, right? You can think about ways. How could you implement AI into cars, right? Maybe, I don't know, your car has a certain algorithm who predicts how many people cross the street in a stop sign or things like that. And then companies need that data for research, right? Things like that. So, but this is some of the things that I have in top of my head. But if you guys do a little bit of deep research, you can think about new ways to execute this, right? And as I said, I'm not gonna judge in here. I'm not gonna go hardcore on the technology. What I want you guys to do is just to break that mold, right? And to start thinking about all their possible paths to go, right? So, and I can see many good inspirations here, right? Good things. You see, like this bird probably has some actuation here. So, and it's like a piece of hardware who enables articulations, right? But this just have a little bit more depth in the research, and that is going to help you to come up with another totally new concept, right? And the third thing is the looking, right? You see that robots usually they're they're built by different, obviously mechanical parts, right? It's a little bit of a styling, like clean surfaces, but at the same time, there's some like mechanical parts, right? Things that compose the whole architecture. So, and we call this a certain type of aesthetics. So what if you combine those aesthetics with cars and you come up with a shape like this on cars, right? And that's also going to show that somehow you're communicating the future of cars with robotics. So those are just a little bit of comments so we can understand, or we can at least have more we can have some more topics to talk about in this special challenge. So now after this, let's go to your sketches, Bora. I don't know how much time you have. You said you have limited time.
Yeah. No problem. I can,
Okay. All
I
right.
can stay here.
Okay. Sounds good. So, Bora, now tell us, um, what did you sketch here? What is the robotic or technology aspect of this car? Like what are your thoughts?
Actually, as I said, I just think for the side view, for side panel, by the side panel, I'm sorry.
Yep.
I just try to create more angular and uh, simple shapes.
Yep.
But in terms of robotics, to be
Yep.
honest, I couldn't, I
Okay.
can't, I didn't add any robotic feature.
Yeah. No, it's fair enough. I mean, this is the thing. Blending cars and robotics is something very unorthodox. It's not that common. So, but that's exactly why I want to do it. And I want you guys to do it because this is going to enable you guys to have more creativity and you guys are going to be more I'm gonna push you to, as I said, to break the mold. And you guys can think of it different solutions, right? For anything, right? Because this applies to everything. It can be not just cars, but it can be mobility, right? You can use this type of vehicles. Maybe they are not cars, but you use this type of vehicles for construction, right? Or you use them for delivery, or you use them for mining or space, or I don't know, doing like dangerous jobs, right? You do it for rescue, you do it for policemen, for lifeguards, right? Things like that. So you need to expand a little bit more, right? And I would say think a little bit beyond the car, right? And all of this is material that you guys, at the end of the day, you can apply it to your projects, right? So, but I mean, I'm glad that you try, Bora. I mean, I think is the very beginning. It's a very good start, and I believe after this session, you're gonna be able to come up with stronger ideas. So I truly believe that. So what about the side views? What can you tell me about the side views?
Yes, actually, for the left corner one, in the bottom, I just thought the body side will be able to apart from glasses, and it looks, how can I say that, I couldn't remember what I have to say. But
Yeah.
the people will be more able to see environment
Oh,
when we
nice.
yes, I just try to expand a glass a greenhouse area
Yeah. Yeah.
so that people can see whole environment.
Yeah. No, that's good. Then maybe you can expand the glass and you can make it smart, right? You can make a smart glass. Maybe people can do touch the glass and just get information from the outside, right? Imagine that you're sitting on the inside of the car and then you saw a building on the street and you want to know the name of that building. You just touch the smart glass and maybe there's a screen on your window that tells you the information of that building, right? And that way
Yeah,
we
I
can
got
be
it.
we can be we can be more connected to the world, right? That could be one option, right? But that's especially why I want to have this type of conversations because you guys can think more in depth, right? And then when you do your designs, right? Maybe your designs are gonna have some sort of like graphics here, which is information, right? That people can see from the outside. And that can help to the aesthetics of the car too and make it look very futuristic. So any questions, Bora?
No, no, sir.
All good?
I
And in terms of aesthetics, right? Let's say we have this guy, right? So if we go to the forms, okay, let me go to these forms then. There you go. So let me just grab this guy, right? This is interesting, right? We can definitely translate some of the forms in here, right? So let's say we grab some cues, some design cues. So it could be this guy, right? This. So this, if we were going to translate it, we do something. We would do something like this, right? Maybe a little bit more where your idea is, right? So, and you guys feel free to interrupt or participate if you guys see something, you're curious about something. right? Don't hesitate to ask questions, right? Just gonna make a point in here. So let's say you have a car like that, right? And as I said, maybe all of these, right? All of these can be your screen, right? Like that, right? And maybe from the front too, right? We just modify the proportions a little bit, right? And then you have another big screen here, right? And then let's say we will have this guy. It will be the front. You see, and maybe you have the rear, right? It's all about just try to come up with unique ideas, right? And don't be afraid to explore, right? I just want you guys to have your ideas across, right? So let's say this is front and rear, right? So we make it a rear. There you go. Front and rear. Maybe you got some of the features. For example, just gonna make it big. Let's say you have something like this, right? You have some features here. So we're gonna try to translate that. Right, so you do this. Right, something like that. Like that, right? And you begin to translate a little bit more of the inspirations, right? Oops. Right, then I see a lot of soft shapes, right? So maybe we can just go soft. We can just give a little bit of room to the cabin, right? And this is the other thing. That's why I put a lot of emphasis on having good sketches or having a facility for sketching, because this is going to give you guys a set of skills that they're going to help you guys to translate your ideas faster, right? Or like Matu said last time, right? That you have the idea, but there's something that you're struggling with translate the idea. So this is it. That's why you improve your sketches, you improve your understanding, and you can translate what you're thinking, right? So, so yeah, maybe this is a car, right? That's how it's gonna look. I'm not gonna try to change your design, Bora, so it's roughly what you were trying to do. Right? And you can tell that maybe the door is gonna open from here, right? You have another, let's say you have another door like that, and it's gonna open from that graphic, or it can just open up from here. It can be a two-door. And you got some antennas there, right? Do you have any thoughts, Bora?
No, 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 sir. It all makes sense for now. I'm trying to figure out. Now I understand what I
Okay.
should do
Yeah.
in the next sketch.
Okay, sounds good. And you see, you guys can have fun with this. Just try to translate whatever you see here, right? For example, I see here like numbers, right? And text and things like that. So why not just put a number or text on the side of your vehicle, right? Just try to have fun, right? Don't try to overthink, right? Just whatever you see, translate it in there, right? And these now, if you show me an inspiration like this one, right? And you show me a result like this one, okay, I make the relation. I know that you were trying to communicate something and you can talk about your ideas about, you know what, this is a screen. It tells you when a um, when a person is close by, so you don't run them over, or you have some numbers on the side that tells you some information about the car, etc., right? So basically, that's the idea. So I would say, Bora, we're gonna keep working on these projects because I think will be nice to see the evolution of you guys' proposals. So just based on feedback, try to think about a little bit more in depth. And next class, just bring more sketches, right?
Okay.
That are more related with cars and robotics.